Astroneer is a pretty chill game where we, the player, can travel to the moon. But what's also in the game are a bunch of collectible research items. And if you're like me and you go, "Ooh, what's this?" Or, "What is this doing here?" Well, then this video is for you. Desolo is Silva's moon, and unlike Silva, it's a barren and lonely place. Hence, it is called Desolo Planetary Mass, aka the moon. Besides a rocky appearance, Desolo features one of the most violent plants in the entire solar system, and that's the Daggeroot. In my books, the Daggeroot makes the most disturbing sounds ever heard in the entire game, as it portrays being stabbed to death pretty accurately. Don't believe me? Here's how my friend ended up respawning. Pretty graphic to me. So, if you value your astronaut's life, better stay away from the Daggeroot. Now on to the research items. There are a total of 8 research items that are unique to Desolo, and of the 8 research items, you can easily find 3 of them out in the open, 2 with a bit of digging, and 3 that are hidden underground. Before I begin, I just really want to take this moment to say how beautiful Desolo is to look out from, and that's because it doesn't have an atmosphere, and it is only on this planetary mass that you can get this space-like look. And I could just spend all day just staring at this view. Well, better get going. Let's start looking on the grey surface of the moon. You can easily find the Solo Berry Pebble and the Solo Purple Rock on rock formations that look like these. So just walk up to them and pick it up. To find the Solo Light Rock, you have to dig below other rock formations with research samples on them. These research items give off between 685 bytes to 1080 bytes and resemble rocky minerals that blend in well on the moon. They're also quite nice to look at, especially the Solo Light Rock, as it's the only one among them that gives off light. Desolo has a lot of craters that has their own research samples in them. Find the Solo Beige Pebble. Look for brownish rock pillars that stick out from the ground. You will be able to find the Solo Beige item resting on them. To find the Solo Spiral, you'll have to dig below organic spore sacs with research samples on them, and if you're lucky, it's just hiding right below them. The Solo Beige Pebble and the Solo Spiral gives off 675 bytes and 1120 bytes respectively. They both blend in well with their DAO environment, and they have a unique subtle glow feature to them. But despite these merits, their DAO coloring ultimately makes them relatively uninteresting compared to the rest of their Desolo kids. Before we go under, there is a special module that can only be found on Desolo, and that's the Apollo's Lunar module. Fun fact, this module is an Easter egg representing the Apollo 11 mission, the first mission to put man on the moon. Apollo 11 took off on July 16, 1969, with Neil Armstrong, Edwin Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins as astronauts aboard the vessel. 4 days later, they landed on the moon in this lunar module, called the Eagle. And what did they do on the moon? Well, let me show you. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. It was really a lot of fun to make. But now that we're done with the surface, let's go underground to collect our last 3 remaining research items. You can easily find the Desolo orange pebble within the first subterranean layer. It's bright orange and very difficult to miss. To find the Desolo pink rock, however, you need to venture into the first grey layer you descend into, but go no deeper. Explore around this layer until you find a pink-looking item to take home with you. Before we go further, I want to say that although we astronauts wear airtight suits, we are not immune to the Hispain's noxious gas. I'm not sure how that works, but just so you know, be careful down there. Ironically, the Desolo gold rock is much easier to find. Once you reach the last layer before the core, you will very likely see it lying around, ready to be collected. The subterranean research items do give off a lot of bites. However, when it comes to their design, my expectations were completely flipped. You'd normally imagine shinier things to look better, but this somehow managed to achieve the ugliest of them all with a gold shine to it. I don't know how they did it, but the color combination just doesn't match for me. Anyways, the rest of the research items are alright for me. Now that you know where to find all the research items in Desolo, here's a ranking of their research value. And here's my ranking of their design value. And to put them into tiers, I put the Desolo Gold Rock into D tier, and that's because it's ugly. There's no research items in C tier for me, so let's jump right into B tier, where we have the Desolo Beige Pebble, the Desolo Spiral, and the Desolo Purple Rock, as their overall look, shape, and color makes them somewhat average. For A tier, we have the Desolo Pink Rock for its cool color combination, and the Desolo Fruit Pebbles that are both shiny and pretty. And finally, for S tier, there's the one and only Desolo Light Rock, and that's because its color represents both the bright side and the dark side of the moon, and not to mention that it's the only research item that glows on this satellite. But what do you guys think? Leave a comment below on which research item is your favorite. Remember this spot in Glacio? Now we can expand our exhibit by including research items from Desolo. That's going to do it for today. If you enjoy my content, be sure to leave a like and share it with all of your Astroneer buddies. If you want to see more videos from me, consider subscribing and ring the notification bell to be notified when I release new videos. That's it from me. My name is SandvoxNate, you guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.
Put that landing. Oh wait, I fall to the ground.